Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to my wood shop, which is also my garage. Thought I'd give you a quick little tour around here. It's a 3-car garage. On the first bay we have storage and kids' toys. The second bay is my wife's car, and then the third bay is for fun. It works out pretty well because it keeps the toys separated over there, and then I can move my wife's car out when I need a little bit of extra space. But let's do a quick tour, and we'll start down there at the sliding miter saw. This is my 10-inch rigid sliding miter saw. It works great. I don't really have any big complaints about it. It kind of just does the job. One of the most helpful features of this, though, is the table that I built for it. It's on wheels like everything else in the shop, but it also has these arms that fold out that are at the same height as the cutting bed. So I can get pretty long pieces on there safely and not have things flopping around as I cut them off. Along the same wall, I also have my dust collection system. It's a simple rigid shop vac with a Dust Deputy Cyclone on top, and then I built the cart from Jay Bates's plans. It rolls around, but it pretty much stays here because a lot of my dust gets created at this miter saw station or at the table saw. I know it's just a shop vac with a 2.5-inch port, but it works really well. It keeps up with most of my tools, plenty good enough for me right now. I say that, but I would love to upgrade to a bigger unit, but for now I can't really complain about this or justify the cost. That brings us to the table saw. I started off with a Delta contractor saw that I got secondhand. It worked great, and I did a ton of projects with it, but eventually I was ready for more. I ended up with a lot more. This was a little bit unnecessary, but I'm so happy with it, and I have no regrets. It's the Grizzly 1023. I don't remember the exact number, but it has the 3-horsepower motor and the built-in router table. This thing is fantastic. I can run anything through here and not hear the motor change at all. And the built-in router table isn't quite as handy as the dedicated router table that I had before, but most of the time right now I'm just doing roundovers on some pieces or some chamfers, and honestly that works fine. The table saw is paired up with this assembly/outfeed table. It's kind of big, it's 4x4, but I built it that way because someday I dream of having a CNC machine, and I think that I can build it on a drawer underneath this table and slide it out when I need it. We'll see if that actually works, but I'm kind of getting addicted to the large size anyway. It works great. I have a brown paper roller on the side here, so I can just stretch that out and do finishing work, or anytime that I need to. Usually it's when I need to protect the piece that I'm working on from whatever's on the table. That works well. And then I've got some storage underneath. As part of my home-built DIY dust collection setup all over the place here, I have this furnace filter duct taped onto a box fan. That's like $30 or $40 worth of investment, and it works surprisingly well. In fact, it works so well that I actually built a second one, and I just leave that one unattached. It's sitting under the table, and I pull that out if I'm doing a bunch of heavy sanding or something like that. I can set it right next to the work project and suck all the dust in there and collect most of it. This is my little milling cart over here. I have my benchtop DeWalt planer and a little Delta jointer. Neither one of these are huge, but they have made a big difference in my shop in that I can now buy rough lumber and mill it down instead of trying to find the exact boards I needed. So that was a big step up for me. It's built on this cart that has full extension drawer slides, and in here I just keep drills and air tools, nails, screws, all kinds of stuff. Very convenient. Sucks up lots of loose material can go in there. While we're here, I'll mention this Skill drill press. Very simple, cheap purchase from a big box store. I don't remember which one. It's nothing fancy. I've got the table on top that Steve Ramsey designed, and this thing works fine for me. I don't use a drill press all that often, but when I do, it does what I need it to do. Before the table saw, this was my first really big brand new tool purchase. It's the Grizzly 14-inch bandsaw, and I also have, as of Christmas, the riser block kit on it, and it takes the capacity from just under 6 inches to just under 12 inches. Well, it doesn't take long to get through a tour of the shop, but I feel very blessed to have this space available to me, and it's a lot bigger than what I used to have. So whether you have a dream shop or a kitchen counter to work on, just start making some dust, learn something, and have fun.